Hey, it's your favorite lawyer, Sabine Franco, also known as Sabine the Purpose Lawyer, and I help protect brand ownership, legacies, and businesses so you could be safe while you pursue your purpose. All right, so this week we're going to be talking about how do you show proof of your trademark, right? How can you prove that you're actually using a trademark and that it warrants you getting a trademark registered for it, right? So they're basically going to fall into two different categories. Either you're going to be providing a good, which is like a thing, a product, something tangible that you could hold, or it's going to be a service, something that you provide for someone else to allow them to, have an easier way, better life, whatever it is, the service that you're going to be doing. And so it's either a good or it's a service. And there's different ways to sort of signify that this is trademarkable, right? In the way that I'm using it. You can't just trademark your name just because you feel like you want to trademark your name, or just because you want to have sort of a monopoly on it. I don't want anybody to use this. You have to be trademarking it in the way that you're going to be using it, and you also have to show proof of how you're going to be using it if it's actually in use, right? So today we're going to talk about what are some ways that you can show proof, or how do you actually show proof for particular things. So I just want to give an example. I had someone contact me about doing a trademark of a clothing brand. I get this all the time. There's tons and tons of clothing brands and tons more to come. And so they wanted to trademark their logo for their clothing brand. They actually had already submitted it and on their own and it got rejected. So because it got rejected, they came to me looking for help. And when I looked at what they had submitted as a specimen, I knew exactly why it was rejected. Why? Because when you submit specifically for clothing, and you put the logo or the name across the front of the clothing, that's going to be more like a design rather than a proof of a trademark, right? So I have an example. I have this shirt for my business, and this was just pretty much for marketing. But if you look at this, the way that this is set up on the shirt, the trademark office is going to look at that as a design, not so much a trademark. Why? Because they feel like anybody could put anything on the front of a shirt. It's not showing the source of where that came from. And the purpose of your trademark is to show the source of your good. But if the person had put the trademark logo or design or name here, the trademark office says, well, now that starts to look like showing us that it is the source of something. Like, this company is where you can get this shirt from, right? Or if you put it back here on the hang tag, that's another proof of where the good is coming from, right? You could put it here on the sleeve, or you could even put it here on the hem of the shirt. Those are all some places that would be seen as showing the public, like, this is the source of where you can get this product from. And that's what the trademark is supposed to do, signify the source of a good or service, right? So let me give you some clarity, because a lot of people get confused about this, of what a specimen is. And that's what the trademark office calls it, a specimen. It's just basically a sample. Show me how you're using it. So a good would display the mark on it, right? A good would display the mark on it, and a service would display the mark in probably some sort of advertising or marketing for that service. So I'm going to give you some examples of what you can use to show your good or your service. So you could give an example of the product. You could show a picture of the product with the mark on the product. You could show the website where someone could purchase the product, right, or the good. And the website would show, the product on it, and would show, the mark on the top of the page or somewhere on the page that people would see, okay, if I go to this, website, I'll be able to find this product and buy it. The purpose of that really is so that the consumer could be protected, right? So if you get injured by a product or a service, you know where to go to. So that's what they're looking for. And then for the person who's registering it, they want to protect the value in the thing that they're creating, right? They want to protect that goodwill so people know where to come back to and buy some more, right? Other ways that you can show proof of your good and product being used with your trademark is you can use a sign from a store, like sort of where the display, that's what it is called. The display of where the product is being sold usually has the name and the logo, you know, there with the product. Or you could use a banner, you know, that has your logo on it, as long as it's showing something that you're actually selling, you know, something. It has to be on that particular good. And then you could also show, you know, product labels. So like I showed you with the shirt, it could be on the back of the shirt, but it could also be on the label of a of whatever the product is. If you have like a hair if you have like a hair product, you could have it on that. Or if you have packaging for your product, usually with toys or things like that, the logo is going to be all over the packaging, and so you'd be able to use that as well. And so now for your services, for the services that you're using, you can use some of the similar items, but it needs to be a little bit different, because it needs to show that not only the logo and or the name of the product that you're looking to trademark, the service that you're looking to trademark, it also needs to show what the services are, like what you're offering. So if you just put it on, say like a photo, and you just have your logo of the business or the name on your photo, that doesn't tell me what you're actually providing. It doesn't tell me the service that you're going to be doing for the individuals or for the public. So it needs to be a little bit more. Like for instance, you can use a website. The website has to also show not only the logo or the name, but it also needs to show the services. So if I say that I'm going to be teaching about trademarks and I'm going to do workshops and things of that nature, then it has to say, you know, Sabine the Purpose Lawyer, and then the services that I provide, trademark, you know, education and things of that nature. So it just has to be consistent, right? So you could use a website, you could use a flyer or a brochure, as long as as long as you meet those kind of criteria, that you're showing both the logo or the name and the services that you're providing, and also you could use that. So something that you could also use is maybe like business cards or pens and things like that. That gets a little tricky because it still has to say what you do. And so if you don't have that listed on there, you may or may not be able to do that. Make sure when you're looking to do a trademark for either a good or a service that you have the right sample or example, which we call a specimen, to prove to the trademark office how you're going to be using it. Remember, it has to have the trademark, and it has to either relate to the good, meaning it's either on it or it's showing it somehow for sale, or it's going to be a service where it has the trademark and it also, you know, describes the services. And just also make sure when you're also looking to trademark that you are consistently using that trademark in the same way that you want it protected. So if I say I want to trademark Sabine the Purpose Lawyer, I cannot now start using it as Sabine, your favorite lawyer, purpose lawyer. You know what I mean? Like, it has to be consistent to being the purpose lawyer, not Sabine's purpose lawyering. You know what I mean? It has to be exactly the same, because otherwise they're gonna say, when you submit that sample for, if I'm trademarking Sabine the Purpose Lawyer and I submit a sample that says Sabine's Purpose Lawyering, they're gonna say it doesn't match. So we're not gonna be able to register you based on this because it just doesn't match. It has to match. So I like to make clear for people to make sure that you're using it the same way every time. You know, you're being consistent in how you're using it. And if you're looking to claim any colors, or if you want the specific design, then you also have to use it in that same way as well. So colors and designs have to be the same way that you're submitting it as your on your drawing and your specimen. So they have to match, okay? If you're looking for a trademark attorney, maybe you submitted a trademark on your own and you got a rejection. We can help you resolve that, right? We service all 50 states, as well as if you need international trademarks, you got one right here. But you certainly can reach out to any trademark attorney so that you can make sure that you're doing it the right way and your brand is protected for the long haul. Because trademarks can last forever if you play your cards right, okay? So don't forget, to like and subscribe to this channel, like the video, comment down below if you want me to clarify anything, if you want me to make any further videos on this. And again, I'm Sabine Franco, your favorite lawyer, but not your lawyer unless you hire me. I'm also known as Sabine the Purpose Lawyer. I help protect brand ownership, plan legacies, and protect businesses so you can be safe while you pursue your purpose. I'll see you next time.